Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, a top WWE star has been told to retire.
Chaos on AEW Dynamite.
This AEW star is completely mental.
And a wrestling legend's son is training to be a pro wrestler. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
All right, we're going to kick this one off. And stop us if you heard this one before. But Randy Orton has revealed that doctors told him to retire once again before. Yeah, I'm not sure I believe this. But hey,
yeah, is this?
He was very seriously injured, of course. But, you know, he's gone through this story a bunch of times. Randy Orton was speaking with Bill Apter, the legend of the game, recently for Sportskeeda. And he had some interesting comments on his career in general. And he's revealed that top neurologists told him, you need to retire, Randolph. Randolph?
Ooh,
it's not Randolph,
that's official.
is it? It's Randolph. I'll read you the quote. I had top neurologists telling me that, you know what, you've had a great career, you have a life after wrestling, and you want to be comfortable. You don't want to be in pain for the rest of your life. We're going to fix your back, but you're going to have to stop wrestling. The first 6 months that I was out, I had that in the back of my head, and it was tough. It was mentally very challenging. So presumably they told him this at the start of his absence. He was gone, of course, from May 2022 until Survivor Series last year. It's a long-ass time out, particularly for a guy, well, he's not that old, actually. Randy Orton, he's always a lot younger than I remember because he started...
Yeah, he's been in it for about... Since he was what? Well, he's world champion at what, 21?
Yeah, he's like the James Milner of this age. But yeah... Yeah, he's kind of gone through this story a bunch of times. I believe that Randy Orton would just keep wrestling for as long as he possibly can. But at the same time, do we reckon he was still to wrestle? Maybe he was at one point and it got better.
Yeah, that's what I sense it was. The initial assessment was like, we're going to fix you up, but after this, nah. And then he got better or recovered and get better. He's not had a cold.
Yeah, he just woke up.
Probably rehabilitated within an inch of his life. And then they went, look, how bloody jacked you are. Get yourself back out there. The thing is, I'm reticent to say he doesn't have that flashy style because his finishing move involves him jumping 6 feet in the air and landing on his back.
Yeah.
So, there's no, unless your finishing move is a roll-up, you're always going to suffer. And if you're doing it night after night after night for, like you say, 15, 20 years, whatever it is, it's going to be bad for you. But you can just tell he's having the best time of it right now since he came back, and I think they've really found a real sweet spot for him personally.
And ultimately, if his doctors have cleared him, which they clearly have because he's allowed to wrestle, who cares? Who cares? If he's happy with the decision and the doctors have cleared him, it's his choice.
That's the thing, isn't
it's
it?
Awesome.
Yeah. He's not defying doctors' advice. You sense that they went, you know what, if you stay within these parameters or you only wrestle this amount of times a month or a year or whatever it is, you're going to be all right.
Yeah. It's his body. It's his life.
Yeah.
He can do whatever the heck he wants as long as the doctor says it's okay.
I sense, this is complete speculation on my behalf, but I sense he's not wrestling because I'm really running out of money here. He's been in the WWE for how many decades?
Yeah, exactly. Unless he's got Ric Flair's spending habits.
And he's been in, the Marine or one of them TV 12 rounds?
That money spinning franchise.
Yeah. He's getting that Hollywood money, baby.
Yeah, he's basically Brad Pitt at this point. Biggest crossover star since The Rock. All right. But yeah, good. I like this version of him, and it's been fun. And the Cody feud, when it eventually comes, will be really good. So.
Speaking of people we're glad to see back wrestling again, Darby Allin. More on him with Andy in a second about how
he's bananas
wild he is. But this story centers around the end of AEW Dynamite last night. The go-home Dynamite ahead, of course, of Double or Nothing this weekend. That goes down on Sunday. King and Queen of the Ring goes down on Saturday too. And the main event, one would assume, although they've said there's 3 main events, but the real main event is Anarchy in the Arena. Team AEW versus the Elite. And it looked like Team AEW may be losing yet another member as we closed out last night's show. A really fun match between... It's like a birthday gift for Bryan Danielson against Satnam Singh in the main event of Dynamite, who's like 2 Danielsons stood on each other's shoulders, basically. Danielson got the win via DQ, but it looked like it had all been a ruse so they could take him out of the match like they did to Eddie Kingston. The Elite come down, and it looks like they're going to throw him off the stage and throw him through some tables. When Darby Allin's music... when Darby Allin's music hits, and you're thinking, all right, it's all well and good, and Darby Allin chucks himself around like nobody's business, but that's still only like 2 on like 4, 5, 6. You had all Jeff Jarrett and that lot out there as well. Well, Darby Allin, how can I put this? Even the odds with a fucking flamethrower. He came out with a flamethrower, Andy. What?
It's a good job Eddie Kingston wasn't there with his bucket of gasoline.
Yeah.
From the other year.
Kingston's like, I'm feeling a bit better for Sunday.
Yeah, hey, let's burn everything. This was completely unhinged, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the visual of this man coming out with a flamethrower and going, "Get back!"
I was like, that. And then I think Nicholas Jackson, took a bump through the table instead, whilst the others froze in fear. And sometimes people freeze in fear because it's like someone's music's playing, like that's never happened in wrestling, and you go, "What? That's so unbelievable." If someone came out with a flamethrower, I'd probably freeze, to be honest.
Yeah, I once saw Jimmy Havoc go after Will Ospreay with an axe in progress.
Jesus Christ!
So deadly weaponry getting used in pro wrestling.
So in AEW we've had flamethrowers with chainsaws.
Yeah.
You had leather.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut you up. Like he's Fred Durst. Does Fred Durst have a chainsaw? He does.
Yeah.
You pack a chainsaw, slash your ass raw.
There you go.
There you go, Fred Durst. It's fun. It's fun and stupid. Like, how can you not? How can you not love this?
People bitch and moan about this online.
People bitch and moan about everything.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this didn't happen in the promotion that I base my personality on.
Yeah, exactly.
So therefore, it's bad.
Flamethrower. Anything's possible going forward.
Yeah, exactly. Just I hope he's got a license for that thing because they're very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Did he bring that with him, or was that just like in the back?
Well, I like the aspect of Tony Khan driving him to the
I
arena.
forgot to mention that part. Yeah.
Does Tony Khan just keep a flamethrower in his boot, just in case?
I picture it like the Men in Black thing when all the tables spin round. That's Tony Khan's boot. He just pulls a lever. There you go.
Like Heisenberg
at
the end.
There's Nick Gage's pizza wheel if you want to use that. Oh.
Yeah, I heard Sanjay Dutt was talking in the creative meeting today. Get the flamethrower. It's completely unhinged. What do you think Tony Khan drives?
Well, he looked like a fairly sedate sedan or something.
I think he's a Ford Fiesta guy. Car of Kings.
What's the? I'd like to think like a Hummer.
Yeah, or a tank.
Yeah,
DXs.
But I'm gonna go. What was the car you used to get at the beginning of Gran Turismo? Gran Turismo 3, I think it was. It was either you could get the PT Cruiser. That's it. That's what he's driving around. He's got billions of pounds in the bank. He's like, hey, this is sensible.
Jeez,
I like it.
Darby Allin drives Brom. There we go. He's always nicking.
No seatbelt. Let's go.
Yeah, he stands up. Why not? Let's talk more about Darby Allin.
Please, yes.
Let's talk about how his involvement in Double or Nothing came together. So obviously Eddie Kingston was injured, very badly injured, unfortunately. It's annoying because he's the best, and I wish him well in his recovery.
He's out until 2025, we reported the other day.
Yeah, he's like broke his leg, he's torn everything to pieces. It really stinks. Darby coming in, obviously taking his place, Team AEW, makes sense, he's a pillar, all that.
Yes.
But Fightful have some notes on the context of this whole thing. They spoke to Darby Allin about the situation. Obviously, he broke his foot back in March, and then he got hit by a bus in New York and broke his nose.
So I always like I'm not laughing at the effect it happened. I'm glad he's fine.
Yeah.
The phrase "wrestler gets hit by bus whilst he's already injured" is just so surreal.
We're laughing at the absurdity of the
Yes.
situation. Brody King was driving the bus, according to Brody King on Twitter.
You know what he said?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I was driving
Brody
the bus.
King.
Sensational stuff. But that led to a lot of people going, what the hell? How is he back? How is he recovered? Darby noted when he was speaking to Fightful, this was an interview he's done ahead of Double or Nothing this weekend, that he was actually in the process of helping his dad move house when he heard that Eddie wasn't going to be able to get cleared in time for Double or Nothing. So when he was moving house with his dad and he heard the news, he phoned Tony Khan immediately and said, hello, wrestling please. That's basically what happened. He said he was on this road trip with his parents when he heard of the injury. He called up Tony. Tony said, yeah, as long as you're clear, yeah, we can put you in the match. So Darby, but the condition of it was that Darby had to get clearance about his foot, his nose, and AEW's 3 doctors, 3 different. He's got a nose doctor, this guy. Just like Daniela Westbrook probably had back in the day.
Jesus.
Obviously not, because that was for entirely different reasons. But Darby is still in a lot of pain.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, despite this. He called Tony Khan and all of this, and he said when he called him he was in Yellowstone National Park.
This is ridiculous.
Hanging out with Yogi the Bear. Is that where he was from?
Probably.
I don't know. Yogi the Bear, as he's known.
Looking around a picnic basket.
Darby also commented that...
When Darby or Tony was in Yellowstone.
The sentence is, Darby says he called Tony Khan on the night prior to Dynamite while he was in Yellowstone National Park with his dad.
Darby, yeah.
Tony
Khan the night before Dynamite. I'm off to Yellowstone for a bit.
I'm going to hang out with Yogi the Bear.
This picnic basket looks great.
I'm more of a jungle skunk guy. But,
Yeah.
there you go. Darby's in a lot of pain, but he is cleared. He's an adult. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yes, exactly. I do hope he wasn't holding the flamethrower whilst they conducted this interview. No dodgy questions now.
Yeah.
But also, there was a bit of me that thought after Collision, maybe Darby hadn't got cleared and it was just like another thing and they were going to take him out of it because they obviously established Daniel Garcia as like another person who hates the Elite on Collision, saving FTR on that show, of course. But yeah, when he came back, I think we all assumed, well, he must be cleared. I don't know how he's done it, but superhuman levels of recovery or just powering on through the injury if it's safe enough to take the odd bump. I mean, you're going to take a preposterous bump. It's Anarchy in the Arena and Darby Allin.
Yeah. Life is strange. Life is really strange. So is Darby Allin, and I'm glad he exists.
Yes.
He's the most entertaining man alive, I think. How did he get hit by a bus? What was he doing?
Well, I read, I talked about this the other day, and then because I was like, did I dream this? I read he was going to watch some show, and he was with like some punk artist who's like 60 odd, and the bloke almost got hit by a bus, and Darby pushed him out of the way, and he took the hit himself. Again, I might have just dreamt this. Eric's been a bit all over the place recently. I'm not getting a lot of sleep, but I think that's the case, and if so, fair play to Darby Allin.
He took the bump straight to his nose as well. He just went, no!
Yeah, that's how I stop a bus.
Boop.
What must it be like, Andy Murray, sleeping in Darby Allin's front yard? Well, we can find out, because that weirdly links us into our final news story of the day. Sting obviously retired, brilliant send-off. Him and Darby Allin finishing as tag champions with that amazing match at AEW Revolution, which also featured Sting's sons, Steven and Garrett Borden. They were like the other versions of Sting when he made his entrance. They even hit a couple of Stinger splashes in there. Well, Sting's legacy could be set to continue because after Darby Allin was speaking with Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp, and this is a big exclusive on Fightful Select, Steven, his son, not Sean's son or Darby's son, Sting's son, who's a former football player, is staying at Darby's house and training to be a pro wrestler. Darby's got his own ring, of course, and Stephen is sleeping in a tent in Darby Allin's front yard. Apparently, Stephen had kind of no desire to get into wrestling, and then through his involvement in the AEW Revolution, I think he's been bitten by the wrestling bug. His future in the business was murky following AEW Revolution, Fightful report here, but it was an emotional high, and I mean, that's all it takes really, isn't it? Just that first, that was kind of fun. I want to do that again.
Let's do it again.
Unfortunately, this relationship has fallen through subsequent to this interview happening because Darby Allin got bored last night and did a coffin drop through the tent. So Steve's got nowhere to stay.
Steve's had enough. He's going home.
No, that's not the case, but that's cool. I really like reading stuff like this.
Yeah, I think both of them, both of the baby Stingers, they just jumped into it with full aplomb.
Yeah, certainly no splashes.
Yeah, they were just like, hey! They just went all in. It was really fun. They always say the makeup, representing different eras of their dad and all that stuff. I think this is really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool that he's training with Darby as well, because that means he's going to be a maniac.
Yes.
So, hell yeah, let's go.
So what are we doing first? Lockups, pinfalls. Jump up the highest thing you can find.
Yeah, jump out of a tree into a fire. What do you think Darby Allin's house is like? I bet it's got specific platforms.
I think it's got a car in the front room.
Tony Khan's car.
Yeah.
Inexplicably. Yeah, flamethrower lab.
That's what happens. I think you go in the shower and turn it on, flames come out. It's just like, twist.
Toughen up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Drink some cement and harden up.
I'd love that.
Wild.
Louis Theroux should, pop over to Darby Allin's house, see what's going on there.
I just watched his Scientology documentary.
I need to watch that.
Really good. Really good. Good stuff. That's all I'll say on that. It's a good show.
That's all we're allowed to say with the Scientology lads around the corner from us as well.
Indeed.
Right, let's move on. At What Culture, WWE on X. Good luck, everybody. If you want to get in touch with us. First question comes from Jake. Great to hear from you as always. Jake. Since Swerve versus Christian probably won't be the last match at the pay-per-view, we assume it's happening in the arena, of course, and since Swerve will retain, what if we get a definitive squash from Swerve where he handily takes care of Christian, solidifying himself as someone you don't want to mess with?
Usually I'm pro squash in a lot of different situations. To the point where people go, no squash. In this situation, I'm not pro squash because Christian rocks and the match will be great.
Swerve kind of re-established himself on Dynamite last night as a smart fella, and better than
smart fellow.
he's a smart fella.
He's a well-learned chap.
He's a smart fella, and Nick Wayne's a fart smeller. So there you go.
He do be sniffing those farts.
Yeah, I like the Prince Nano blocking Christian in and Swerve getting a bit of revenge there, but. Yeah, these are two brilliant wrestlers, and I just think heel Christian's far more entertaining than just being beaten in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. He's too good. Yeah. He's too good. You squash good wrestlers from time to time, whatever. Yeah. But Christian is a master of this, and if somebody's going to get a brilliant first pay-per-view title defense out of Swerve. It's him. Yeah, why would Nick Wayne and Killswitch be I'm going to follow this guy if he loses in 2 minutes on tape? He's jobbing out. Yeah. Jobbing out, man. I hate to repeat myself. I'd have Prince Nana be there to counteract. Let's say Nick Wayne, okay? Nothing against Nick Wayne, but Prince Nana could probably take care of him. Nick Wayne's mom, she's got it going on, but she doesn't have to necessarily get involved in the match, although Swerve's daughter could take her out of it, because that would be a fun bit of lore. And then you just got Killswitch, and Rick Ross obviously takes care of him. He's back. Allegations. No, accusations. He looks at Killswitch, and he'd probably say, "You a big mother..." Anyway, I've sworn once, I'll be good. Yeah, sorry, editor. Mark Solid gives us our second question of the day. It's all about the learning tree. Chris Jericho. Mark says, "Morning, my guys. Welcome back, Dad." What? Thoughts on having Jericho taking established stars under his learning tree and starts taking credit for all their past achievements, both in the ring and out, like title wins, getting married, and having kids? What are your thoughts on the learning tree? I haven't really had a chance to talk to you about this. I don't care. Okay. I can't lie. I can't sit here and pretend I like it. I don't care. Did you like the Shibata match? No, not really. I'm just kind of done with I know he's like leaning into it and all that stuff, and it's kind of like what he's done his whole career. Like we reported on the weekend that actually it's a big brain move from him. He's a brain genius, Chris Jericho. Actually, that's what I wanted. I want them to all just boo me out of the building and tell me to retire. So yeah, as someone who just doesn't enjoy this, I'm not gonna pretend I like it just for the sake of having a take or whatever. But as someone who doesn't really enjoy this isn't something I would be interested in. But I think if you're invested in it, the idea of a POS heel taking credit for glittering long careers is objectively quite funny. Yeah. So it makes more sense that to have Big Bill as part of it, because why would Big Bill need to sit under the learning tree? He's a former tag team champion. He's bigger than the tree. Yes, exactly. There's a bit of me that thinks that could be quite fun. Of him being like, "Oh, Samoa Joe, you sat on the learning tree and now look at the achievements you've had in your glittering career." Samoa Joe's like, "What are you talking about?" But also, there's a bit of me that's just have Hook beaten for the title on Sunday. He's doing a Fozzy gig in London, supported by Swerve when they're here for All In. And then just go away for the rest of 2023. True? Yeah. How did I miss that? Oh, trust me, when we come out of here, get Hamlet to show you the poster, because I don't know who's the front of that poster, but it's not 2024 Chris Jericho, let me tell you. It's about 1999 Chris Jericho. They took a photo from his WCW days. It looks so either photoshopped or AI generated. He might as well have 6 fingers. God, he's so pro wrestling, isn't he? Yeah. What a guy. Hector Garcia the third gives us our final question.
Following on from your thoughts on yesterday's news, where you wondered why Rikishi hasn't been involved in the Bloodline, could a Rikishi beatdown at the hands of the new Bloodline be what brings the Usos back together?
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good to put him in the simple... If Rikishi can still bump, I guess. Is he still wrestling? He probably is. Like, these old guys, they show up in places quite a lot on the indies and stuff. So yeah, if he can still bump around and stuff, why not? Like, have him come down, maybe do a dance, why not? It's Rikishi. And then get his ass kicked. Tamatonga can go or whatever. Little dog noises. Was he a dog or a goblin at the moment? What's his name?
I said he reminded me of Joe Pesci when he couldn't swear in Home Alone.
Pop a gob. There you go. Very nice.
But yeah, I don't think necessarily that used to be the... Hey, gives you a headache, doesn't it?
Sure.
I don't think that necessarily means the only way that you bring the Usos back together. Like, I do like the final reuniting of Jay and Jimmy after all this time, and you know, Roman being involved in that babyface bloodline group. But yeah, I do like a good... What do you do to our dad, you pricks?
Yeah, then they could have... It's good.
Let us know your thoughts on that and everything we've discussed in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, and while you're at it, why not check out this video right here?
It's about goblins. Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
Goodbye.